Have you ever wondered why so many of the world's richest people are choosing to quietly move to a tiny island nation in Southeast Asia? A place with strict laws, hot weather, and no beaches bigger than a resort pool? Today we're breaking down the real reasons billionaires are flocking to Singapore, and what it means for the global economy, for ordinary Singaporeans, and for the future of wealth around the world. Yep, quietly is the key word here. These ultra-wealthy individuals don't shout about their moves, but their decisions speak volumes. And the numbers are staggering. Recent data shows that 47 billionaires relocated to Singapore in 2024 alone, bringing over $150 billion in wealth with them. Why Singapore? The top reasons. 1. Political stability and safety. First up, stability. Singapore is consistently ranked as one of the least corrupt, most politically predictable countries in the world. Its government plans decades into the future, and major shifts or unpredictable legal changes, like you see in some Western democracies, are virtually unheard of. For billionaires who value certainty over risk, this predictability is a major draw. Safe streets, strong rule of law, and reliable public services also mean families feel secure living here, a key factor especially after the disruptions of recent global events like COVID-19. Extraordinary tax efficiency. This is the headline for many ultra-wealthy families. Singapore has no capital gains tax, no inheritance tax, and comparatively low personal and corporate tax rates. That means profits from investments, appreciation of assets, and generational wealth transfers can happen with far less tax drag than in countries like the United States or much of Europe. This isn't about tax evasion. It's about legal tax optimization. Billionaires want their wealth to grow and stay in the family, and Singapore's tax structure incentivizes precisely that. The family office boom. One of the most important behind-the-scenes drivers is something called a family office, a private firm that manages the wealth and investments of a single family. Singapore has aggressively positioned itself as the premier global hub for family offices. There are now thousands of these offices in the city-state, overseeing trillions of dollars in assets. These offices benefit from favorable tax treatment as long as they hire local staff and reinvest in the economy. This trend isn't just regional, it's global. Wealthy families from Asia, Europe, North America, and the Middle East are choosing Singapore as a base to protect and grow their generational fortunes. Global shifts and the Hong Kong effect. Another major driver is geopolitical uncertainty in other financial hubs. For decades, Hong Kong was Asia's premier destination for wealthy families. But political changes and security laws in recent years have made some elites uneasy about the legal and regulatory landscape there. As a result, many chose to relocate to Singapore, which remains politically neutral and legally predictable. This shift wasn't just a trickle, it became a wave, especially among wealthy Chinese and other Asian business owners seeking a more secure base for their capital and their families. Economic impact, boon or bane. So what happens to Singapore when tons of billionaires move in? On the positive side. Small blue diamond huge capital inflows, billions in investment ready to be deployed. Small blue diamond a booming financial sector managing trillions of dollars in assets. Small blue diamond tens of thousands of new jobs in finance, legal services, wealth management, and luxury services. There's no denying it. This has helped Singapore cement its reputation as one of the world's top financial hubs, if not the top hub in Asia. But it hasn't come without cost. Housing and cost of living pressure. More wealth flowing into Singapore has pushed housing prices way up, even for public housing units that are supposed to be affordable. Flats that used to cost modest sums can now sell for over $1 million Singapore dollars. Singapore is consistently ranked among the most expensive cities in the world, and everyday living costs, groceries, dining, transport, are often out of reach for many ordinary residents. Rising inequality. With unprecedented wealth concentrated in the hands of a few, Singapore also grapples with one of the highest levels of wealth inequality in Asia-Pacific. The top 10% hold a disproportionately large share of total wealth, and wage growth for average workers has lagged behind the rising cost of living. That creates tension. On one hand, the government needs wealthy residents for continued economic growth. On the other hand, it's trying to maintain social cohesion and address rising inequality, a tricky balancing act. Social and cultural impact. The influx of ultra-wealthy newcomers has also started to shift Singapore's cultural landscape. Some locals feel alienated as neighborhoods become more oriented toward luxury lifestyles, high-end retail, and elite services. There's a sense among some Singaporeans that the city-state risks becoming tailored to the global elite rather than everyday residents. In response, authorities have introduced higher property taxes on foreign buyers and tightened certain wealth residency requirements, but critics say these moves don't go far enough to address the underlying inequality. Is Singapore the next Switzerland? Some analysts draw parallels between Singapore's rise as a wealth hub and Switzerland's historic role, a place synonymous with banking secrecy and elite financial services. But there's a key difference. Unlike Switzerland in the past, Singapore automatically shares financial information with many countries, including the US and China. So it's not a hidden tax haven. It's a transparent, legal one. That transparency, combined with political neutrality, strategic global ties, and an emphasis on legal certainty, may give Singapore a more sustainable position as a global wealth center. So why are so many billionaires immigrating to Singapore? It's a combination of political stability, tax advantages, wealth preservation strategies, and a favorable business environment that offers certainty and security in an uncertain world. But this shift brings both opportunity and challenges, from booming financial growth to rising inequality and social tensions. As global wealth continues to move and evolve, Singapore's story offers a powerful glimpse into how modern capitalism, policy, and migration intersect, quietly reshaping not just a city-state, but the very landscape of global wealth.